All right, we are back, episode 20. It's kind of a weird day. Today is actually Halloween, and I have the one and only Miss Denise Reynolds, third grade teacher here. So welcome, Miss Reynolds.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
All right, so we're back here in the back of the library recording this because my office is a mess. And I'm sure our faithful listeners, all 7 of you, want to know, how did you get your start in education?
Well, I kind of became a teacher a little bit later in life. I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time. And that, means you're a taxi, right? So I took my kids to like scouts and Saturday bowling leagues and soccer and gymnastics and swimming lessons and right? So it all began with just taking my kids to different activities. I started volunteering, teaching preschool, at Sunday school. And once my kids started elementary school, I started volunteering in the classroom. And it was actually one of their teachers that encouraged me to consider education as a career path because she saw something in me and she felt like I could do it. And that was awesome to hear that. And I loved working with the students in small groups and one-on-one, and I just enjoyed it. So when I was pregnant with my youngest son, Colin, I decided to enroll in classes at college. And so I worked while he was just a little one and I was staying at home. I earned my associate's degree. And then from there, I got my first teaching job. And he actually came with me to school. And I was his first teacher, and that did not go so well. So like the first couple of days, I think, or it was the first day, everybody was calling me Miss Denise. They're like, Miss Denise, and he's like, that's not Miss Denise, that's Mommy, and he would get mad. So the next year, he was in a different classroom. So yeah, that's kind of how I got my start. And then I moved here to Colorado, and I just actually had a job offer before Cherokee Trail at Arapahoe Community College to be a preschool teacher there, and I turned it down because I just felt I wanted a different career path. And I've been at CT since 2012, and while I was working as an EA, I began classes working towards my bachelor's degree and teaching certification, and here I am, 3 years into being a classroom teacher.
Yeah. And we are very lucky to have her. So one of the things that our listeners may not know is you do a great job of celebrating students in your class. So can you talk a little bit about how you do that?
I would love to. So recently I saw something online where a teacher writes notes to their students to kind of just tell them why they're glad they're in their classroom. And so I started that on Fridays. I just pick a couple kids randomly, 4 or 5 kids, and I just kind of write a little note just telling them, what I admire about them and also why I'm glad they're in my classroom. And I feel that's really significant in building relationships with them. We also celebrate every month. I have like a whole monetary system in my classroom if you come in based around Epic bucks. So every month we have a big celebration. We have a class store. And so it's kind of a celebration of epic behavior and just doing the right thing, and the kids look forward to it, and it's so much fun. Yeah.
You actually feel the energy when you're in the classroom. It's really, really cool to see. The kids are genuinely excited about all of that, the monetary system, and they generally care about you. It's pretty cool to see, actually. The other thing that people may not know about you is you do a great job of reaching every student. And when I mean every student, I mean every single student in that class. So how do you go about doing that? Because that's not easy.
That's probably the hardest part of being a classroom teacher. I'd say the first thing in reaching my students is getting to know my students on a personal level. So that means building a trusting relationship with them. There's a quote that says, no significant learning occurs without a significant relationship. And that's been a quote that's kind of always in the back of my head. I can teach till I'm blue in the face, but unless I establish like a trusting relationship with my kids, the learning is it's not going to go very deep. Yeah. So that to me, once you get to that level, I think that it's pretty easy to reach all of the kids. Yeah. And just kind of trying to figure them out. And laughter helps. I think I'm kind of goofy. I have a silly sense of humor. So I think that helps me connect with my students. I love laughing with them. And learning and laughter, I think, go hand in hand in a classroom. Yeah,
I would agree with that as well. One thing, again, that people may not know about you, feel like it's like a history lesson almost, is that, you're just in your 3rd year, and it seems like you've been teaching forever. It was almost like, you just molded a perfect student teacher and she had her come out, and that was you. So what was something that greatly influenced your teaching?
Something that greatly influenced my teaching, I think that would probably be being a preschool teacher. Early childhood education is very big on hands-on learning, and I always felt like there was a disconnect between like what kids it's so like hands-on and fun and engaging, like in the preschool classroom. And then when I saw my own kids kind of enter elementary school, it was that sit and get.
Yeah.
You know, that they sit there and they get the information and that's it. And so I think having that basis of like 5 years of being a preschool teacher and trying to integrate that into my classroom and what we do here at Cherokee Trail too, I think it's just a good fit for me personally.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's probably the biggest thing. Just consistent rules too. Like when you're working with preschoolers, they have to know, like, you know, even this way your classroom is set up can greatly influence like behavior. So like just all of those things, like I think I have brought that into my own, you know, third grade classroom.
Yeah.
And I know that I think it helps, you know, the kids just to know rules and routines and structure. And I don't know. I think that, I don't know. I think all of those things I learned in early childhood education classes kind of even help me, you know, with third graders.
Yeah. So I know that your car is usually here when I get here, and your car is usually here when I leave here. So I know that you are putting in a lot of hours. So what do you do to recharge that battery?
So my favorite way to recharge during the week is working out at the gym. I have committed myself to 4 to 5 workouts a week for a super recharge and something that's much more relaxed than working out. I like to take cruise vacations a lot. And then in the summer we hike and camp, and my husband has a Jeep, and we like go off on trails and just, you know, have picnics and just enjoy nature and being in the mountains. So that's how I like to recharge.
You know, I went on a jeeping trip once, and the people that I were with wrapped all of their lunch meats and things like that in a piece of tinfoil and shoved it in their engine block so it cooked while we were jeeping.
Wow.
And then when we stopped, they like pulled the stuff out of their engine and we ate it.
Did it taste like oil?
Yeah, it did. And it was fairly disgusting. But it was interesting that people do that.
I've not done that.
No. I would advise against it.
Yeah.
All right, so, you know, that kind of goes along the line. What's something that you're not very good at?
Oh, I am not very good at skiing. Okay, so I am not completely terrible at skiing, but I learned how to ski only like 5 years ago. So I learned as an adult, which, you know, my teenagers, they like picked it up in like a day, and like we're on blue slopes, and here I am like on the bunny trails, like, you know, like, but my husband's been doing it since he's like 3 years old. Yeah. So there's kind of like, they're all like, bye mom, and I'm usually stuck at a lesson. So that's something that I have a love-hate relationship with, you know. It's not, I like that it's challenging and it's new, but like it's also frustrating because I'm not good at it, and I like to be good at things. So like, that's a little frustrating, but skiing for sure, I am not a good skier.
So other than professional skier, what other profession would you like to try out?
Oh yes, I would love to be a flight attendant again. I did it briefly when I was a young adult before I married my husband. And travel and adventure, like I love traveling and I love seeing new places and exploring new cultures. Like that's just my thing. So, that'd probably be.
That's almost like a no-kid job, though, that one.
Yeah, well, my kids are getting older. But I love teaching.
You love teaching right now.
I love teaching. I'm in it.
All right. Colin, don't grow up. Don't from me to you, buddy. All right. So made it to the last question.
Yes.
So if you have control over all of the billboards, or they're really not billboards anymore, but just those electronic signs, and everybody in the country would see it for just one day, what is a message that you'd like to put out there that everybody would see?
I think I would write something about remembering to be kind to every person you meet. You know, you don't know how much, or like a simple smile or just a kind word, just being positive can affect someone's life in a great way. It can be really impactful. You don't know what they're going through. Yep. And I think we need a lot more kindness, especially with all the things that are going on in the world today.
Yeah.
And so we need more love and kindness in our world. So my billboard would just be a reminder for people to just be kind.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. You never know. Everybody's got something going on. Everybody's got their own issues. So just be kind.
Yep, love other people. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. Episode 20 in the books. Thanks, Miss Reynolds, for giving up your time. Happy Halloween.
Yes, happy Halloween.
And we will see you again sometime.
Yes.